So we are live now.
Okay.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Once again, we have Mr. Nitin Naya sir. He will speak on critical thinking skills. He has done his bachelor in medical sciences from University of Delhi and completed his master's in health administration. Currently, he is pursuing his PhD in business administration from Aligarh Muslim University. He has more than 14 years of experience in public health and medical industry, where he has worked with many organizations like Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, National AIDS Control Organization (NACO), WHO, NIHFW, NHM Delhi government, and corporate MNCs dealing with medical technology. He has been involved mainly in scientific and research communications, trainings on technology, technical and creative writing, medical writing, digital content writing, and soft skills for academicians and students. Mr. Nitin Naya is also associated as an honorary technical editor, reviewer, and medical and healthcare subject editor with various reputed journals, magazines, newspapers from health industry. He has also been awarded as most promising personality in medical communication by Advanced Media Group in 2020. He is also a trainer and guest faculty with Public Health Foundation of India and other national health program of various states through Government of India. Welcome you, sir, for giving us time. Over to you, sir, now.
Thank you, Sachin. And I first of all, I would like to welcome all the students who are available to join this session. And I am thankful to Ramanujan College also for giving this opportunity. And I hope you have enjoyed our previous sessions where we started with the basics of soft skills. And then we discuss many things about the interpersonal communication. So today we are going to discuss about one of the other exciting things which we rarely get taught in our regular classes, in our school curriculum or college degrees, and that is about critical thinking and decision making. So, welcome students. And before going to the topic, before discussing the critical thinking, let's first, I would like to share some of the basic points which we all know, but we usually ignore about thinking. Because thinking is something, if you think that I am learning thinking, it looks very absurd at times. But actually, thinking, people say that I think, I take decisions by thinking, but actually it rarely happens. Most of the time, what many things, many factors comes into play, which forces us to take the decisions not by our thinking, but what the other people or what the society or what the environment is forcing you to make the decision. So today we will discuss first about what thinking and how we can learn it, and then we will move to the critical thinking, that how that is going to affect our decision making and becoming better as a personality, as a teacher, or any professional we talk about. So here you can see the first slide, that humans make and take decisions at every point of time. Students, we all know that we all make decisions at every point, whether you want to join this course or you won't, whether you want to attend this session or not, whether you want to join some job or you want to learn new thing or not. Many decisions we take daily, on a daily basis, on every moment basis, and there are various processes involved, which are 5 of them is listed in this slide. One is thinking, and thinking I have kept first deliberately because here we are more focusing only on the thinking part. But apart from thinking, we have the feeling part. We all feel the things. Sometimes we know the truth, but then also we don't feel like following it, and we say I doesn't feel like, so we take the decision by our feelings also. Third is the value. Values, when we talk about values, are more of what we prefer or what is my priority when I take the decisions. Whether my priority is the family, so I'll make the decisions accordingly. Suppose you want to take the decisions whether to join the job in some other city or not. So many values comes into play. Whether if you value money, you may join there, but if you value family, then you may remain there. Or if you value both of the things, you may shift your family to the place where you are going for the job. So values define that where or what decision or what choice you make out of your decision. Next comes the perception. When we talk about the perception, perception is more of what is the hidden meaning behind what you are saying. Perception is nothing which you are actually seeing in the world. We all look at the world in the same way. We all look at our government, at our system, at our economy in the same way. But some people say the government is good. Some people say the government is not good. Some people say that this university is good. Some people will, out of you, will also say that this course is very good. But some of you will feel, no, this is okay course. So what does that mean? It does not mean that the course is good or bad. It does not mean that the government is good or bad. It's more of what the perception we have made about the things that makes changes in our decisions and the choices. And fifth is the belief. Belief system differs from country to country, from culture to culture, from religion to religion, even from state to state. If you talk about India, in India we have different belief systems existing in different states. So all these five things work when we make any decision, when we, when we choose anything in life. But out of this, why thinking, we are, many other things are not in direct control of what we do. If we talk about feeling, values, perceptions, beliefs, a lot of factors comes into play. But when the thinking comes, thinking can be somewhere worked upon, and we can make our thinking well, because that is somewhere in our control. We can check out what my thoughts are, and you can change the thoughts. That's the power with the human beings we have, because human beings, as a special creatures, only we are the people, we are the species who have the guts to change our thoughts and change our thinking and to take the decisions what we want, not what the other or the society is forcing upon us. So this is the equation. If you see, the personal experiences plus your misinformed understanding plus your biases, they can change your thinking and decision making. Personal experiences means like you joined this course, and how you personally felt that this course is. Second is misinformed understanding. Suppose you found this course very good, but somebody told you that course is not good, and then you found one of the best friends has told you that this course is not good, and then your bias comes, okay, my best friend is saying, if he is feeling that it is not good, then it may not be good. Although personal experience says that it is good, but because your friend is more important, your friend's words are more important for you to make decisions, so you may feel that the course is not good. But in the other case, if you personally feel something is very good, but people are telling it's not very good, but you are more confident in your feelings or your thinking, then you will say, no, the course is very good. Maybe people are not liking it that way because they don't understand, but otherwise the course is very good. So this is how the thinking process takes place. Next is, these are the three important points I would like to share before start going further, that feeling is not in our control most of the time. You cannot say today I'm going to feel happy, today I'm going to feel sad. Feeling happens to us as a result of what we are, how we are dealing with others, and how our thoughts impact our psyche, and then the feelings get changed. And second is that feeling cannot be substitute for the thinking. Suppose if you think that something is bad or you have doubt on something, even if you are feeling good, you think twice before making that decision, because for you the thinking part may get overruled by the feeling, or feeling gets overruled sometimes by the thinking. The third point is that thinking without values is somewhere aimless. If you are thinking but your values are not clear, suppose you have got a job, you are staying in Mumbai and you have got a job in Delhi. You want to go from Mumbai to Delhi to just for the job, and you are not clear whether you want the family or you want the good salary, or whether you want to transfer the family to the job location. You are not clear of any of the thoughts or any of the values you have in life. So what finally you will do, finally you won't be able to make the decisions. Neither the job will stay with you, nor you will be able to make your family happy. So somewhere you have to choose one thing. Somewhere you have to make the decisions, and those decisions become more and more clear once your values are clear. So value driven thinking is one of the important things which we all have to learn. whether we value honesty, whether we value money, that also helps us in taking decisions. If you're getting money, but you have to compromise with your honesty, that also is a difficult problem to handle. And you can see somewhere people, when they value money, but they don't value the honesty, although they make the decision accordingly, but then they are happy. Why they are happy? Because they are clear with their aim that I want money, so I can compromise anything on that. Similarly, if somebody values honesty, but he loses money for the honesty, he remains happy that, okay, I want honesty to be, I want honesty to be in my thing, in my thinking. So my decision is good. So value is very important when you are doing your thinking process. Now comes the decision making. One of the reports from World Economic Forum tells that critical thinking was ranked as the second topmost skill. See, we all have degrees. We are all MBAs, maybe PhDs, scholars. But when it comes to profession, it never depends on what the formal degree you carry in your CV. It's more about how you make the decisions and how you choose the things and how you select your friends, how you select your partner, how you treat your family. All these things comes under the uh, how you solve the complex problem of life. So these are more important things rather than the degrees. So World Economic Forum at the global level, critical thinking is treated as one of the top rated skills. It is at the second level after the complex problem solving. Complex problem solving is totally a separate topic we are not discussing here. But second most important critical thinking, second top skill, which is rated as the best to be included in any professional, is the critical thinking. Now we come to, now you will see that on these slides, I have kept 1 or 2 points. The reason being that this is about the power, what I'm explaining or what we are discussing. I'm just sharing with you the most important or the powerful point on the screen. And rest of the things I will try to explain through the examples and through the interaction with you people. That thinking is the most fundamental human skill, and your thinking determines your happiness and your success in life and profession. You must have seen that maybe some people or some of the professionals, they have very less salary, but they are very quite happy and quite satisfied in their life because they know what they are doing. They are happy and they enjoy what they are doing. On the other hand, we have also the professionals who are very good in their pay packages. They are earning very handsome amount, but then also they are not happy, they are not satisfied. They always search for the new job, they always search for the new friends, they always search for the new things. So what happens? Because thinking is somewhat that determines not only just your happiness or your satisfaction, but also success in any sphere of your life, whether it is a personal life or your professional life. Now, talking about thinking, it is an inevitable part of anybody. You have to think for everything. And I'm not teaching, we are not discussing here that how to think about how to choose what to drink, what to eat. All those drinks, all those things are very small part of our life, and we can instantly choose, okay, I want to drink water, I want to have tea. But when it comes to the critical parts, thinking becomes more important. Whether you want to plan something, when you want to choose the courses, what you want to do, or you want to solve the problem, you want to take any new initiative, you want to start new company, or which subject you are going to teach, you want to open up some new opportunities, or anything you want to design so that you can move forward, that depends on your thinking also only. And without thinking, you must have seen that when you put a cork in a water, it starts floating up and down. It keeps on moving up and down and just move in any direction because the cork does not know where he or she wants to go. So without thinking, we are just like a floating cork. If Because the cork also does not know the direction, we also don't know the direction. We keep on moving just because society is doing some course, you are doing that course, society is doing some other thing you are also doing. Some people even forcefully go into the relationship just because society forces them to go for the relationship. Some people get leave the job just because society does not like that particular job. So these are all the things which makes us unhappy and unsatisfied, and that is why the thinking skills becomes important to be learned. Now, thinking is useful and the practical thing, and the only thing is we have to learn it. Learn it does not mean that some formula is there. It is only the reflection and thinking about the thinking and getting aware about the environment and not getting influenced by the outside things that we can improve our thinking. Suppose if you want to buy a product, and if you are just buying just because the advertisement shows you very rosy picture of that product and very usefulness, but when you bring it that product to home, you find that that product is not very good or very useful to you. So what that is there. Oh, the whole of the advertisement industry is based on, they tempt us to buy the things. If you go to any website or e-commerce website and advertisements or any kind of a promotional event, what you find is that they want to sell you and they don't want you to think critically about anything. They just want you to buy, and that is the impulsive buying, what you call. You go to the market, you buy many things from the supermarket when you don't require it because you are not thinking about it. They are showing you in such a beautiful way that you are not able to decide whether to take or not, and finally you buy the thing, and then you say that okay, I have wasted my money on this. So thinking is very useful and practical only when you can work upon it and you can utilize it in your daily life to run your life best, to save money, to get into good relations, to help your parents, to help your friends. That is what the main job or main concern when you want to learn the good thinking process. Now, this is one of the important points which I think most of us miss in our daily life, that thinking is not about intelligence. If only intelligence we talk about, we are saying that thinking is equivalent to intelligence, it means that only intelligent people can think, which is not at all. Many of the professionals, many successful personalities, if you check out and read about their life, they were not the very intelligent people, but they are the good thinkers and they found great success in their life. But when you talk about many of the good thinking people, they are they have gained success even without intelligence. But many of the intelligent people, they have lost their thinking process and finally were not able to perform good in their chosen venture or their chosen area of performance. So intelligence is like a horsepower of a car, and thinking is like the skill of a car driver. Suppose if you have a very good car with a very good horsepower of an engine, but driver does not know where the car is going or where the destiny is. Do you think that car is going to give you any benefit? Because if driver does not know where we want to go, then there is no point of intelligence. There is no point of good engine. But even if the engine is not very good, even if the engine is average, but the driver is very good, then driver will take the car to its desired destination. Maybe in 2 hours or 4 hours or maybe 6 hours, the time may get delayed, but finally the result will be better. So thinking is not equivalent to intelligence. It is much more than intelligence, and it can be learned by anybody. Intelligence may be natural born, but thinking is what you can develop in your life, what you can develop through your observation, through your meeting with people, through reading books, through interacting with others, through joining the good courses. That is what makes the thinking better. And even without intelligence, you can become a very good thinker and you can find out new things. You can discover and invent new ventures and new businesses. And of course, you will become a better human being through a better thinking. Next is, as I told you, that thinking can be learned, it can be practiced, it can be developed. And the other part is that in none of our formal college education, whether you have done your BTech or MBBS or BSc or MSc, whatever we have done, even the scholarly courses, no formal education actually teaches us or focuses on the formal training in thinking skills. But I would like to here introduce one of the one of the information that you all can utilize. In other countries, there are various. One of the authors by the name I would suggest Mr. Edward D. Bono. Write down this name if you people can. And there are schools where he has introduced the subject of thinking, that how you can learn thinking and how you can improve your thinking and how you can utilize your thinking for the business, for teaching, for every sphere. But even in India, some of the schools now are teaching thinking skills. And if you if you really go into the detailed process how we can learn that, you will enjoy and you can definitely implement in your teaching process as well. So I would like you to go and read about the books published by Mr. Edward D. Bono. That will really help you all to go into the other aspects of thinking. But here we will be, discussing more of about the critical thinking skills, which we are going to further discuss. Next is the when you think anything, first you have goals in your mind, and then you see what those goals are going to make you achieve in the foresight or in the future, what you're going to get, and then you find out the solution for the same. So this is what the entire process of thinking happens. You consciously or unconsciously do this process, and which involves goal setting, then looking into the future, and then finding out the solution. Now this slide is about, I'm just introducing to one of the history's most prolific critical thinkers, Mr. Albert Einstein. You must have heard he is a scientist and one of the best thinkers of the world. And he has once said that it's not that I am so smart, it's just that I stay with the problems longer. He was the person who was thrown out of school and he was not successful during his early years. But then, because he used to solve the problems through his thinking, he used to ponder upon what I am thinking, why I am thinking, what are the good parts, or how best I can do the particular thing, and what are the small changes I can make to make the things better. So he said that it's not that I'm smart, it's only that I stay with the problems longer. And the second thing he said is that when given an hour to solve a problem, I would be spending 5 minutes on the solution and the other 55 minutes defining and researching the problem. So whenever you want to do something, if you have to give the most important time, or the major time goes into thinking that what I'm going to do. If you don't know what you want to do, then there is no point in doing something, because finally you will land up at the wrong place, because we don't know where we are going. So finally, wherever we land up, we will find some gap and we will say that, okay, this problem is maybe I'm not good at thinking. But it's not like you are good at thinking. It's like you have taken the decision so fast that you are not able to decide what actually the step to be taken. So this kind of a patience and commitment to truly understanding a problem is a mark of a true critical thinking. Critical thinkers are the people who remain with the problem for longer. They are the people who patiently think, analyze, interpret the things correctly, and then they make the decisions. Now, two important qualities as a true critical thinking is patience and your commitment. Whenever you want to learn or you want to find out the truth or you want to understand the problem, as a critical thinker, patience and commitment is very important. You should be patient enough. You should have patience enough to understand that what the actual problem is. It's not always that the problem is what we think the problem is. Sometimes we think that the student is not a good student, but it may also be that I'm not a good teacher. I may not be giving the relevant examples. I may not be able to give them the correct message. So it may be the other way around. Sometimes I think the students think that the teacher is not correct, but it may be like they are not in a mood or they are not in a frame of mind where they are accepting the things. So that gap leads to the problem. So as a critical thinker, we first need to decide or think that where the actual problem lies and how we should go about it. And second thing is commitment. if you if you are not committed to what you want to do, you will definitely get tired of it. If I'm taking this course, and if I'm getting, if you are sharing your problems with us, and if the next time also the same problem is same issue is coming, it means somewhere I am not able to understand you people. And if something I am telling you but you are not able to understand any of the things, somewhere if you don't have the commitment, you won't be able to understand. So commitment from both the sides is important. Commitment from all the thinkers is important when you want to make a come out with a good decision, whether you are teaching somebody, whether you are learning from somebody. The best part comes when we critically think about how we are going about the problem. Next is, now we come to, after learning this basics of thinking and how it is important and what are the aspects where we should be focusing. Now we come to define what is critical thinking. Critical thinking, I'm just giving you two of the very practical definitions. One is that reasonable, reflective thinking that is focused on deciding what to believe and what not to believe. Because now it's the era of information. You open the Google, you put any word in there as a keyword, and you search for it, and you will find the good part and the bad part. You enter whether the smoking is good or bad. The Google will tell you the answers for both, how it is good, how it is bad. Now which one you will believe and which one you will not. Deciding what's true. Every advertisement says you that the product is very good. Now which advertisement, how you will decide, because no advertisement will tell you that the product has the bad aspects. How will you decide that whether the product is good or not? Just because some celebrity is telling you that the product is good, just because some minister is claiming something, it does not mean that that information is truth. And what you should do, if somebody on in the promotion is telling you something to do, whether you should do it or not, whether that is reasonable or not, whether that is researched or the correct information or not, all these aspects are very important, and they define what the critical thinking is. What to believe, what's true, and what you should do. These cannot be defined by the advertisements or by the books or by the people or by some powerful person. These are the things which we have to do ourselves. If you are not doing it yourself, then the society will be doing for us, and we will be choosing the things which are forced upon us. And accepting the forced choice, that is very difficult. That will not make any of us happy or successful in our life. So I hope this definition of critical thinking is I have told very simply, and you all have understood it. If you have any kind of a doubt, we'll further discuss this, and we'll go into more of the details. Now, again, the critical thinking is thinker. As a critical thinker, what are the qualities that we should carry which will make us a critical thinker? First is that it's about being an active learner rather than a passive recipient of information. Suppose somebody has given you information that this product is good. Somebody has told you that this college is good. You go and join as a professor. Somebody told you that this course is very good. Go and join it. Now, somebody told us and I paid the fees and I joined the course. That's not the critical thinking. Because you're going to pay for the course, you're going to leave your entire career on the basis of a particular job. So you cannot land up just by asking from one or two people and then taking the decision. How you are going to do about it? How actively you think about what is said to you? That makes a critical thinker a smart person. So how we will do that? That will further learn. The important thing is you are not a recipient of information. You are the analytical personality to analyze the information which is given to you. Now, what the critical thinkers do? Critical thinkers, they rigorously question ideas. They question the assumptions rather than accepting them at face value. You saw some product, you asked about the movie and somebody told that the movie is very good, you go. Movie is a small decision, so let us not take the example of that. Let us take some critical decision, like suppose you want to join some college as a lecturer or the professor. You ask somebody that whether the college is good or not. Somebody told you that the college is very good, and some of your friend told that the college is not very good. How will you find out that? Now you have various things to see whether the college is recognized, from which university it belongs, what kind of a courses are there. You will read about the profile of their faculty, then you will discuss or interact with few of the students, then you see the facilities available there, all the things you see, and you will see how the previous professors or what are the research projects they are doing, and how whether that college is actively chosen by the students or not. All these questions, when you go through, whether consciously or unconsciously, that will make you better informed, rather than your best friend tells you that this college is very good and you would go and join as a professor, or your students tell that sir this college is very good and you go and join as a professor. That's not about the critical thinkers. They question the ideas, they question the assumptions, they don't assume anything. They find out the data, they find out the information, they find out the facts, they find out the others opinions, but they don't accept that all of them plainly. They correlate them, they analyze them, and they find out the best answer or the best value out of all the information available to them. Now, what the one more thing is there, they will always seek to determine whether the ideas, arguments, and findings, they represent the entire picture. Let me tell you a very interesting thing that we all have read the newspapers. Have you seen uh, how many good news are there in the newspaper? One of the very good quotes is that a news is a news when it is not a good news. Why? Because every information or every story or everything that is presented to you through the media, through the Google, somewhere or the other, they want to influence our decisions. So as a critical thinker, we have to analyze that are we looking at the entire picture? If somebody is telling me all the good things about somebody, but they are deliberately telling you something good about everything, the newspaper will tell you only the bad things happening in the world. It does not mean that there is nothing good happening in the world. There are a lot of good things also happening. There are honest people also. There are happy people also. But newspaper or the websites or the bloggers, they are not sharing those information. Very few are sharing the negative, positive information. The reason is that they want to sensitize us. They want to influence the decision. They want to make the business out of it. The person who is selling you the mask or the sanitizer will never tell you that now the corona is over, you don't have to buy the mask, because that's their business and they are going to influence your decision. The person who wants you to buy their products, they will never tell that the product is not useful, ma'am, and you can go without the product also. The person who is conducting the course, I will never say that my course is bad, because that's my course. Why should I say the bad things about my things? So you have to analyze, it's not only this person who is selling you and everybody. Let me tell you, online and everywhere the information is just to sell the things. Nobody will tell you the bad things just because they care about you. An advertisement on dental product is telling you that your teeth may get ruined with from chocolates, not because they are concerned about your teeth. They are more concerned about what they want to sell. So as a critical thinkers, you have to see whether I am looking at the entire picture, whether I'm looking at the biased information, only the bad things, only the good things, and whether I'm open to finding that they do not. So a good thinker or a critical thinker always looks at both the aspects. And when you look from all the aspects, then you can outweigh and you can compare the things, and then you can find out the better decision to make your decisions good, to make yourself happy, or to sometimes to make your professional decisions more fruitful and profitable. Now, it is a way of thinking about particular things at a particular time. Critical thinking is not the accumulation of facts and knowledge or something that you can learn once. When we talk about critical thinking, it's not like something you learn today and you apply it in the evening and you will get the benefit. Critical thinking is a long way. Entire life we have to practice. It's about the patience. It's about the way you observe the things. You gather the information changes every moment. Today the number of people dying is different. After 1 hour the number of people dying is different. Now the amount of now at present, if 20 people are dying of cancer, maybe after 1 year 30 people will die. That information keep on fluctuating, but what remains is your own judgment, your own analysis, your own interpretation of the facts and knowledge. It's not like 4 into 5 is 20, so always the result will be 20, because your 4 and 5 means your information lying with you will keep on changing, and the result that you're getting will also change when the information changes. 4 changes, 20 changes, 5 changes, 20 changes. So we have to see as a critical thinker that facts are fine. If 20,000 people are joining the course, it does not mean that the course is good. You have to see how many people are actually looking for the course. If 1 crore people are looking for this course and only 10,000 are joining, that's less than even 0.5%. If 10,000 are applying and only 1,000 is joining or 1,000 is attending, that's the kind of a analysis we have to do. If 10,000 are applying and 9,000 plus are joining, that's the very good statistics. If you are getting only one number that 2,000 people are attending the course or 2,000 people are suffering from cancer, but out of how many? If out of 1 crore, 2,000 are joining, 2,000 are dying, it means the problem is not very big. If out of 1 crore, 200 people or 2 people are dying, that's not a big news. That's not a problem, because that's the normal thing. Even with a simple fever, 2 people can die. So as a critical thinker, you have to see what information I am getting, and what the actual meaning lies hidden behind those facts and the knowledge. Now, why critical thinking is important? First thing is, it is universal. You can apply the critical thinking to any sphere of your life. Personal life, professional life, family life, everywhere critical thinking helps you. And it is crucial for the economy. If you are getting some information and you found that information is correct or not, and you deeply analyze the facts, if government gives the budget or some corporate gives their figures, if you carefully go through the figures, you will find many things which are never told to us, but which are hidden there in the entire process. So to run the economy, if every person is a critical thinker, then the better budgets will be designed, better information or better awareness will come into the society, and we can utilize the money also in a better way to run the economy. Now, critical thinking also improves your language and presentation skills. If you know as a language, as a presentation, as a presenter, if you know your audience, that my audience wants this, my audience or my students, they like this kind of an example, they like this kind of slides, they enjoy these kinds of particular pictures. So the more you learn about your audience, which can happen only through critical thinking, your language skills and your presentation skills also improve. Promotes creativity. When you think critically, it does not mean you become bound to a particular direction of thoughts. It's about the creativity. If you are thinking something very critically, that why this is happening, why this is not happening, and then you suddenly find out, okay, this is how it can happen in some other way as well. Sometimes we don't know the exact way. We do it in a wrong way, but later on we come to know that the wrong way is the better way than the existing way. Now, because you have done this new way because of your creativity. So critical thinking also makes you a better creative thinker. Next is that it's important for self-reflection. Self-reflection means when you critically think about the things, you also develop your personality and you come to know that what is important for me. If some task is to be done and there is only way, and that way is somewhere conflicting with your values, and you don't want to do that thing. Suppose you are going to get admission somewhere, and but there are certain things you have to give some donation, or you have to oblige somebody, and you don't want to do that because your values does not allows you. Then you think, how else I can do this? I don't want to go into the wrong means, but I want to do it nicely. I want to take it through the correct route. Then you will think, what are the other ways available? Maybe you take up some test, or you prepare for the exam, and then you crack the exam, and then you enter into the course. Then you feel good that, okay, this is how I take the decision. Critical thinking is about, it tells you about what you value, what you pay importance to as a personality, what makes you different from others. That also comes through critical thinking. Now, critical thinking is the next, is that it is a basis of science and democracy. Democracy says that every person has the right to speak. Science says that everything has to have the reason. So when you deal or do something, just try to find out why I'm doing so, why this is happening, why this decision is made. If government is taking some decision, whether good or bad, it's not like because people are saying something is bad, it's bad. It's not about people are saying something is good. You yourself, I myself, should think about the decision. Then we will become a better critical thinkers and as a successful personality also. Now, what are the benefits of critical thinking? It's the key for success in your career. You will become a better decision maker in your life as well as in your profession, and can make you happier as well, because if you understand that, if you critically think about something, suppose somebody tells you that, you have doctor your doctor tells you that you have been diagnosed with so and so problem, and you are going to die, and you are not going to lead a good life after maybe 2 years, and you believe that blindly, without checking out the facts, or without checking with the other sources, or without consulting for the second opinion, then you may become sad, because doctor is finally not a god. He has just learned the books, he has just seen some of the clinical aspects. Maybe some other doctor can give you the better opinions, and it has happened with all of us. Sometimes the doctor tells you that you're not going to get better, but you go to the other doctor and he gives you the some medicine, and you becomes correct, and then you feel like, okay, I was unnecessarily in tension, it was all fine. So it critical thinking makes you take the better decisions to get for more choices and makes you happier. Now, fourth is, it forms well informed opinions. Whenever you choose something, you have to have the well informed opinion. If your neighbor tells you that, just example, that COVID vaccine is bad, and after having COVID vaccine, my so and so relation person has died, and after that you have not taken that vaccine, do you think it's a kind of a good option we have chosen? How you are going to take the decision? Are you going to stop your vaccination for COVID, or you will check out with the other sources, you will check out with the other statistics? Think upon this, and you will find the better answer. This is what the critical thinking is about. And finally, it makes us better citizens. We are not the herd mongers, we are not just moving after the what the public is saying, and you are also saying. It's not like that. Every individual has the right, has the power to think and to decide what they believe, what they do, and what is best for them. Next is, critical thinking also improves your relationship. Sometimes, on the very small note, you lose your friend or your relation. If you think critically, that just for a small thing, is my decision okay? Am I making the right choice? Am I right in this? You will improve your relations once you think critically about it. It promotes curiosity. The more you think critically why something is happening, why COVID vaccine is bad, and then you find out more reasons why it is happening, why it is considered bad, or why it is considered good. You will learn more about the subject. And finally, you'll become expert in that subject once you start questioning about the subject. And it allows for the creativity that we have discussed, that you will become more creative when you think critically. It enhances the problem solving skills. Now, every problem you face, you cannot solve through your books. You cannot solve the problems through by reading the books, because what you can think may not be in books. Sometimes we get the solutions which are out of the blue, which are never mentioned in any books, but they are the better solutions in life. As a critical thinker, that is one of the beautiful things that we can add to our skills. And one of the important things about the critical thinking is it's the exercise of the mind. We all go to the gym, we spend a lot of money on our physical health, we eat fruits, we do this, we run, but when it comes to mind, we never give any training or anything to our mind. We keep thinking about the stupid things, we keep thinking about the what my neighbor is doing, what my friends are doing, what about the gossiping, what happened to the celebrity family, what happens to the minister. We could keep on thinking all these things which have little impact on us, but we never think critically about the simple problems. We never think critically about our own subjects. We never think critically when we make the decisions. If I'm not taking the vaccine, why? If I have taken the vaccine, why? Why the corona? We are not able to fight the corona. What are the lacunas? Why we are? Why this pandemic happened? If you focus on these aspects, you will become more expert in the subject. And not, this is just an example. You can choose anything, not only just COVID or pandemic, but anything that makes you that feels you interesting. You think about that, and you can improve your life and profession both. It creates independence. Everybody says that I want to be independent, but frankly, very less people are independent, because most of us take decisions by seeing to our society, by choosing the products, what is offered to us through the advertisement, what is offered to us through the newspapers, what is offered to you by your shopkeepers or the Amazon or anybody. We don't think independently. Once you think critically, you'll become independent and you make your decisions on your own. And last is that it is a life skill. Critical thinking is a life skill. It's not about you are a teacher or a sociology teacher or you're a professor. It's more about like how you run your life. You run your life through thinking. So if your thinking is bad, of course your life is going to be bad. If your thinking is sharp, your life is going to be sharp. If your thinking is smart, you're going to have a smart life. But thinking should not happen to you. It should be done by you. Today you go on the social media, you'll find everybody is talking, giving you good comments, talking positive, motivating each other. But how many people are motivated? Why people are still going for suicide? Why the suicide happens? Many of the celebrities also, they have done, they went to suicide. Do you think there was a problem with the society? No. Sometimes the problem lies with our thinking. We think that society is doing wrong. Why should I live? Nobody likes me. Nobody loves me. This is a mental disorder. And thinking to sharpen your thinking means to lessen your mental disorder, to make your mental stability stronger, to make your mental health more sharper by doing the critical thinking. Now, I hope all of you are enjoying and getting some insight that why we are talking about this subject so much, and as a soft skill, why they are important. But we can definitely do this critical thinking not just by learning the definition. Somewhere we need to instigate our thoughts that how should I think, what should I ask myself to make the decision so that I will get the better insight about the situation. So here I'm sharing with you the one of the tools of ultimate cheat sheet for critical thinking. It's taken from there, and it is produced by Global Digital Citizen Foundation. You can find it online also, and many other stuff is available online for critical thinking. But here we are discussing the important and the major aspects. Now, first is there are 5 questions we ask for anything that we come across in life. First is who, what, where, when, and how. Why, how, who, what, where. These are the 5 questions everywhere. Whenever you go to the newspaper, you will find all these 5 questions answered in every information. Whenever somebody tells you about anything happening, they'll tell you these 5 things. So if you can analyze these 5 things, you will definitely get a good insight whether my thinking is correct or not. First is who. Whenever something tells you something, ask yourself, who benefits from this? Who is this harmful to? Who makes decision about this? Who is most directly affected? Who deserves recognition? Who will be the key people in this? Who would be the best person to consult? And who is the right person? Who have you also heard discuss this? Means suppose you get a news or you get some information. Some person has told you that this thing is very good or this product is very good. The question that comes to is who is getting benefited from this? Who will be the key people involved in this product? Who would be the best person to consult? If if somebody if some vendor of yours, if your milkman is telling you that this doctor is very good, and you go and consult that person, but you are not satisfied, do you think that person, it is good to take the decision from that milkman that will which doctor to be consulted? Or it is good to decide from what my neighbor is telling me to choose the hospital? Or it is good to choose that, okay, I'll go for this surgery because my neighbor is telling me that this surgery is very helpful in removing the headache? Are you going to go for the surgery? No. Who part is very important whenever some information comes. Next is the what. What are the strengths and the weaknesses? What is another perspective? What is the another alternative? Somebody tells you that this course is very good. Okay, this course is very good, but I want to know the other alternatives. What are the other things I have? What is the most or least important? Which is the most important aspect of this course? Who is getting in the way of our action? Like if I'm not able to take any action, who is the person who is involved in that? Maybe I'm not able to take because of my husband, my wife, or my friends, because my friends are saying not to do this, I'm not doing it. So what is important when you are dealing with the critical situation? Then comes the where. Would we see this in the real world? If somebody says that this product is good because it makes you beautiful in just 1 week, have you seen anybody in the real world who is getting better in just 1 week by just putting a cream or some cosmetic? Have you seen? Can we get it more information about it? Can you believe that in 1 week you can reduce your 5 kg weight by just eating one tablet? Do you think this information makes sense? Advertisement or the promotion gives you online that you can put this in your home and you will become happiest family in the world. Do you think a simple flower or simple bracelet can make your life good? Where is the kind of evidence you have? So that also becomes your critical thinking when you buy the product or when you make decisions and when you think somebody is good or bad. Then comes the why. If somebody is offering you something, the first question which should come to your mind is why I should buy this, why I should take this. Is this just because my friends have taken? Is this just because, okay, I have nothing to do, okay, let me do this course? It's never like that. To get the value out of anything, you need to ask the why. Then comes the how. How is this similar to? How does this disrupt the things? If you are if you are doing some activity, if you are going for something, how does it going to affect the other areas of your life? How will you approach this safely? How does this benefit us, or how does this benefit others? How do we see this in the future? All these questions makes you a better critical thinker. This helps you out in making your decisions, reaching to the conclusions, choosing the things in your daily life and in your professional life in a better way. Now, see, this slide is actually just to tell you that you meet 100 people, 1,000 people, lakhs of people, everybody has their own thought about everything. You ask 100 people and you'll find 100 different reviews about the course. You ask 1,000 people that whether this person is good or bad, and you'll find 1,000 different versions of that same person. So it becomes very difficult to make decisions. And that is why the what we are discussing here becomes more important, that how we should think and how we should critically analyze the things. Now, again, coming to the other part, that somewhat detailed part of critical thinking, that is, it is an organized thinking, it is a rational, there is a logic behind that, and it helps you understand the ideas between the connection between the ideas, connection between the facts. If the news is telling you that 20,000 people died because of so and so, because of diabetes, now those 20,000 people, I want to know from which geography they are, what was their lifestyle, why only those 20,000? Because 20,000, the sample cannot be, you all are researchers, we all are thinkers, so sample cannot be biased. Sample should be well chosen, unbiased sample. Have we studied the trends? Who are the people who are dying? Why they are dying? In which geography they are? In what age group they are? COVID, due to COVID, 10 people died today. Which 10 people? Are they having some other diseases also? Are they normal people? Are they young people? Or are they 80 years old diabetic patients having lot many other diseases as well? That makes the severity more clear. Any patient dying does not mean that it is always a bad thing happening. We have to understand the background, that what kind of a data was taken when the information is given to us. And thinking about thinking, critical thinking is about, you should think that what I am thinking. Am I thinking sense? Am I thinking nonsense? If a thought comes to my mind, this course is very good because all the toppers of my college are doing this course. Do you think this thought is a good thought? No. All the powerful people are using the Facebook, so I will also use the Facebook. Does it make sense? No. All people, all the corporate people, they are into smoking, or they like drinking. So is it important that I also do that? It's not the correct thinking. I have my values, people have their values, everybody has their own values. We have to respect all of them, and then we have to make our decisions based on what we prefer in life. Then comes the identifying, analyzing, and fixing the flaws in what the way we think. Suppose you think, and we always say that, okay, I always take the decision like this, so but it makes my life unhappy, so I will not make the decisions like that. Most of the times, we all must have heard somewhere, I used to think like this, but now my thinking has changed after experience with the people, after experience with 2 jobs. Now I know that the people doesn't think like that. Maybe when you enter the job, you say everything openly, but then you realized, no, this is not my college. I have to restrict certain information. I have to give the information and not in this way. I have to talk, but not in this way. I cannot use these words. What is that? That you learn by your critical thinking when you move ahead in your career or in your personal life. Then to become one critical thinker, it takes time, practice, and patience, but something you can start doing today. You cannot become, but you can start doing today to improve your critical thinking skills by applying just 7 steps of critical thinking to solve any problem. Let's go to those 7 steps. Although I have discussed those, but now we will see it step by step. But when you do it, frankly, when you do it, it does not happen step by step. It's a natural that it happens, you unconsciously happens, you decide and you take these steps. Just become conscious and then you'll become a better critical thinker. First is identify the problem of the question. Be as precise as possible. The narrow the issue, the easier it is to find the solution. If you want to join the course, don't say that I want to join the course. Define what course, which skill you want to learn, and then decide the course. Then gather data, opinion, and arguments. It's not that somebody told you that, okay, if you want to do this course, go and join this course. No, try to find out several sources where that course is available, which universities give it, is there any degree available, where which organizations will give me a job opportunity based on these skills. All this information, opinions, arguments you have to gather. Then you analyze and evaluate the data. Are the sources reliable? Because if you open Google, 10,000 people will tell you about 10,000 different courses. How you are going to evaluate that? When I will evaluate, I will go for only 2, 3 good sources. I want to see Delhi University, is it giving the course? Harvard University, is it giving the course? AMU University, is it giving the course? Or I'm not going to see every small university of the country about the course. So that is how you take the evaluation and then you move ahead and you identify the assumptions. Are you sure the sources are found to be unbiased? Suppose if some blog is telling you that this course is very good and this is done by this private university. Now, who is writing that blog? If the blog is written by some teacher of that particular college, that's not a good source. Is it a neutral source? Is UGC telling that this course is good? Is some authorities telling you that this course is good? Or some good student or some very reputed personality or somebody who has passed out from there, he himself is giving the opinion. And is that person who is doing that course related to the owner of the college? All these things happen. So you have to identify what you are assuming when you are applying for the course. Don't assume that if something is written on the Google, that is always correct. Go and check for the other courses. Go face to face, go in the market, explore, and you will find the better options. Establish the significance. What piece of information is most important? See, as I told that information is available in abundance, but which information is important? What is the sample size? If only one person is telling that course is very good, but 10,000 are joining, it's not a good statistics. Are all opinions and arguments even relevant to the problem? If somebody is telling you that the course is not going good from this college because their canteen is not good, do you think that that is a good point to be considered? Are you going for the canteen or are you going for the course? The important thing is you have to see what actually, if the course is good, maybe their facilities are not good, maybe they don't have the swimming pool in their facility, but if their teachers are good, that's the better decision you are taking. Because finally you are going to come out not with the facilities, finally you are going to come out with a degree, finally you are going to come out with the knowledge, with the experience, with the good students that you have your friends in the course. Many of the colleges in all the universities, they have a good name, but many of the colleges, they don't have the name, but their teachers are much better than the other colleges. How you take the decision? Just because if just because somebody just because some good personality or the prime minister of India has studied in the college, can it make the college good? No. It is more about the teachers. Maybe when he has studied, maybe the college was good, but now the teachers are not that good. Now the teachers are more good in some other college, then that college is better than the other. That is what the critical thinking is. Present, or then you make a decision and reach a conclusion. Then take the decision and then find out the conclusion that what are the strengths. Once you are joining, every choice has some good things and some bad things. Whenever you're choosing something, making a decision, always think that 5 things good, 5 things bad. But which 5 things are good and which is your priority, that is most important thing. That is the most important thing. Yeah. Uh, Next is present or communicate. Once you have reached a conclusion, present it to your stakeholders. Like once you have decided, whosoever, whatever the decision is, whether you are choosing a course, whether you are choosing a partner, choosing a life partner, choosing a relation, whatever you are doing, then after that you present it to your stakeholders or whoever is involved, whether your family or anybody. That makes your entire process of critical thinking. Now, I'm just here taking an example of is drinking coffee good for you? Now, this is the question that anybody we can talk and discuss for long hours. Now, this is a broad way to understand how we think critically about the subject. First of all, what does good even mean? Suppose if you are if this example is very small of small significance, but every decision is taken like that. Like, first of all, what does good even mean? Secondly, we don't know if we are talking about long or the short term effects of drinking coffee or taking any medicine. It's all possible that drinking coffee might benefit some aspects of our health while being detrimental or the harmful to the others. So let's narrow down to the problem is drinking coffee good for your heart? That question becomes more relevant and more informative for us. If the newspaper reads, is drinking coffee good for you? That's a very broad and that can be subjective. But is drinking coffee good for your heart? Then comes the role of cardiologist. Then comes the role of the medical science. What the medical science says about the role of coffee or the caffeine on your heart muscles. How does it impact your heart muscles? This question becomes more relevant. Then you have to list down that there are only two pieces of research on the impact of drinking coffee on the heart. The first one says that the drinking coffee could account for premature death in the region of 14% of coronary heart disease and 20% of the stroke. According to the second one, moderate coffee consumption was associated. So these are the two studies which are telling you. Now, you are analyzing that whether that article is giving you the correct information and the correct data, then you find out that what the article is telling me or what the information is telling me. Just by reading coffee drinking is good for us or bad for us does not make any sense to decide whether you are going to take the coffee or not. Whenever somebody says walking for 1 hour is good for your health, first we need to check whether my current situation allows me to walk for 1 hour or not. You have to check what is my current, whether the doctor allows me to run for 1 hour, because article is telling for the only for the normal people, only for the healthy people. Is my condition falls into that? You have to take the decisions according to where you fall, which samples you fall into, or what is your requirement. How that 1 hour is decided. Some people say that 20 hours is good for learning anything. Some people say 20 minutes walk is good. Some people say 10 minutes exercise is good. All those figures are less of a research and more of the opinion. If you have 10 minutes and you do it for 10 minutes, after 10 years, you will say 10 minutes exercise is very good because that's your own personal data. It does not mean that it will work every time, everywhere for everyone. That is what the critical thinking is about. Now comes Now I'll share with you some insights on how you can start working on your critical thinking skills and become by applying these small strategies that we will discuss in the coming slides. First is that ask simple critical thinking questions. That what do I already know? If somebody telling you something, it's not that you accept everything because you already know about the things. You have some information or knowledge about it. Then how do I know that? Have I read it from the books, or have I taken it from my experience, from my friends? Where? What am I trying to prove? Is it that always it's not about winning the argument. It's not about that you have more knowledge than me. It's about what you are going to prove from that. I am sharing with you because I am teaching you. It's not to prove that I know better than you. It's not about to prove you something. It's about to make you a better critical thinker. If that what I'm trying to do is not correct, then also my critical thinking skills goes into vain. What are my motivations? Why I'm doing something? Are you doing something for money? Are you going doing something for fame? Are you really interested in gaining the knowledge, or you are just doing for the sake of getting certificate? That is very important. If you know that, then you will take the best step. You will make the best decision. Now, second thing comes is always a critical, as a critical thinker, it's not about common sense. Always oppose your common sense, because the problem with the common sense is that it's so common that it's so obvious. If 10,000 people are registered on this course, it means the course is very good. This is the common sense. But those 10,000 people may not be the people who have thought before joining the course. No way this business idea can never be ever be profitable. In India, lot of new ventures are coming, and most of these ventures are failing because for everybody, their idea is the best. They think that their idea is going to be best in the market. They can beat Amazon. But do you think that has happened? No, because it's not about common sense. In reality, what happens is exact opposite. Just the example is given. Somebody is making killing business of $3,300 online course and how to choose a good personal assistant. If that's profitable, okay, I'll also make that course, or I will also do that. Same thing. That's not the about the common sense. Be aware of your biases. You must know that where I am biased, or where my values are. Sometimes we like something not because it is actually good. Sometimes we like something because our family values say that that is good. Sometimes you like movie not because the direction is good. Sometimes you like it because something has happened which is connected to your life, so you like that concept. So be aware of that. The most common types of cognitive bias is confirmation. We always subconsciously assume we are right. Most of the time we assume we are right, and that becomes a problem in our thinking. Then with the action bias, we act too quickly before thinking something through. We think that, okay, only for today, this offer is only for today, 50% discount, click buy. That's the action bias, and that is how the businesses make benefit out of us. Sometimes we don't require the product. We may require it after 1 year or 2 years, but you click buy just because it is written 50% only for today, and you go for the action. Be aware of your biases. Be aware of your biases.
Hello, I am Dr. Sachin from Ramanujan College. I want to inform you that there is signal issue from the side of our resource person. They are joining again within 5 minutes. So please wait for 5 minutes. Thank you so much. Hello everyone. There is network issue from the side of our resource person, and he is not able to join again. So, on the behalf of the organizing committee and Ramanujan College, I would like to say thank you so much, sir, for such a nice lecture. You explain critical thinking skills very nicely, sir. It is our pleasure to listen you always, sir. And once again, thank you so much, sir, for such a nice talk. Thank you so much, sir.